5 John boat or small boat mods you seriously need to consider for the 2025 season. My name is Grayson Roberts, and we cover everything epic tiny boat fishing. Everything you're about to see in today's video will be linked in the description. My boat's trying to run into me. Come on, Spotlock, do your thing. Dude, this thing's hunting me down. Leave me alone. Everything that you see in today's video is going to be linked in the description, most of which will have a pretty nice discount code, so definitely check those links out. Anyway, let's start with the most basic and work our way up to what I think is the #1 mod everybody needs to make on their small boats. Now, I'm scared of this thing. All right, now the first thing that's also by far the cheapest, and I only paid $25 for a 4-pack on Amazon, is going to be these 4-inch plastic folding cleats. These things are totally awesome because I don't use cleats a whole lot, really. I mean, I used to throw anchor before I got spot lock, so I have no need for an anchor anymore. So these folding cleats are great because I don't use them most of the time. And in the summer, and like today, I'm jumping in and out of the boat. I've got 2 mounted here, 1 port side starboard, and then 2 more on the stern. So we've got 4 folding cleats, a 4-pack for like, I think they might be 30 bucks now. But this is a really good, really simple mod. Now, if you have a fiberglass or aluminum boat, you could definitely go for the metal versions. But I did plastic because they're lightweight, easy to install, super cheap, and I don't use them a whole lot. I didn't want metal on my boat. I just wanted some more plastic, and it fit right in. I just screwed it directly into the plastic here and just added some marine adhesive, and they've been absolutely flawless, extremely durable. As you can see, I can move the whole boat around. Spotlock does not like that. But the cleats are definitely a welcome upgrade. I think they look pretty good, and they're definitely functional. Okay, the second mod that I really think you need to make, now there's going to be different versions for different people, but it is some sort of a foam kit. Now, I've got 2 options for you today. We're going to mark it as just 1 item on today's list, but we're going to have 2. We're going to have the cheap budget version, and we're going to have the high-end version if you want to spend a little bit more money, if you want it to look better, last longer, and overall just be a much better product, albeit at a higher cost. We're going to be looking at the foam. So we'll start with the cheap stuff. This fake wood grain that you see here, I've used this on multiple boat builds, and I absolutely love it. I paid only $60 for the whole roll to do this entire boat, excluding the floor. But as you can see, it looks really good. Oh, I just saw a bunch of bait go by. I'm super nervous because I've been fishing, caught a nice gator trout, and I have passed probably 50 behemoth stingrays right here, so I'm a little nervous. Anyway, I think it looks really, really solid. Looks great. It's durable. This is season number 2, although this is season number, no, that's season number 2 for this stuff, and it's holding up well. So I really, really suggest that you get some sort of foam for 2 reasons. 1, it's more comfortable. 2, it doesn't heat up. I got more reasons than that. It also helps dampen the noise and vibrations you're emitting into the water when you're fishing, especially in super shallow, kind of spooky water. So it's awesome to have foam for multiple reasons. Plus, it's easy to clean, it looks great, and there's just so many reasons to get a cheap $60 roll of foam. This was a $22 fish ruler, made of the same material, the same color, also on Amazon. That thing looks so good on this boat. I actually don't use it a ton. It's a little bit difficult to use holding slimy fish up next to it. I'd rather it be flat, but I mean, I think it looks really good. So that was $22. This whole kit was $60, and I actually had a lot to spare. Now let's talk about the bottom here. This is HydroTurf from Tiny Boat Nation. Now this is going to be significantly more expensive, but it is significantly nicer. You see, with this foam, I actually had to use some additional adhesive spray to get it to stick. But with this, all it came with was what it came with on the back. I peeled and sticked, and it worked phenomenally. The HydroTurf comes in a lot of really cool colors, and it is what I put on the floor of my boat. I do stand on this stuff with shoes all of the time. It's no big deal, but I decided to go more expensive on the floor just so it lasts a lot longer. Plus, it's actually sitting on an aluminum flooring kit for my particular boat. I just have an extra little pad down there since I had so much of it, but I highly recommend you do some sort of foam kit. I am an advocate for the cheap stuff. Works great, but if you have the budget, definitely upgrade to the HydroTurf. It is going to last you a lot longer. Hold on, we've actually got a bonus feature product as well as the sponsor of today's video, Raintaker. If you're sick of water pooling on your boat cover, flooding your bilge, or even filling up the compartments of your tiny boat during rainstorms, check out this solar-powered bilge pump designed to be left out in the elements for months on end, charging itself every single day. It has a low-profile 12-volt pump, a foam pad to keep it from scratching anything, as well as holding its position, stainless steel intake grate, as well as a stainless outlet port. The Raintaker is designed for not only freshwater, but also salt. Check out Raintaker with the very first link in this video's description. All right, number 3 is actually going to be, well, actually I can open it up. So it's going to be a couple products in one. It is going to be this battery box, but I've already talked about this battery box. It's cool because it's a 12-volt battery box. You put your battery inside, it protects it from the elements, keeps it waterproof. You have an accessory port right there. You also have a USB port right here and multiple breakers built in. But what's cool is what's on the inside of it. So if you haven't already, I highly recommend you upgrade to lithium. And if you're going lithium, they're so cheap these days, you might as well go Bluetooth. Now, what's significant about lithium is that it's going to last twice as long. So if you get a 100 amp hour lead acid or AGM battery, you're only going to be able to use 50 amp hours before you go below 12 volts, meaning effectively you only have 50 amp hours of usage. But with lithium, they're rated for 100% DOD, depth of discharge, meaning you can use 100% of the battery without losing a single volt. So it's really important because it lasts twice as long. It's also half the weight. That's a 22-pound battery versus my 60-pound 50 amp hour, which is only a 25 amp hour lead acid. So it's definitely a huge upgrade going lithium, and an even bigger upgrade if you go Bluetooth. Now, I've had a lot. I've had probably 15 different Bluetooth batteries. Now, my favorite one is actually Lithium. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up my Lithium app. I'm going to click on my battery, and it's going to show me my exact battery remaining. It has to update here. It's obviously not 100% battery. There we go. It just updated. I have been fishing for 4 hours covering water, and I still have 92% battery remaining. That is the power of lithium. It also shows you your wattage, your current amp draw, voltage, amp hour capacity, all the vital information. And once you actually have the trolling motor running full blast, it'll tell you exactly to the minute how long you have on the water. So this is a really good tool if you don't like charging your battery after every single trip. Well, just check your app and it's going to tell you exactly how much time on the water you have. Now stay tuned to the end of the video for the #1 mod that I think everybody needs to make, a product that is barely hit the market and a product that I love so much. You probably have somewhat of an idea. But number 4 on the list is an electric outboard. Now, I know what you're thinking, Grayson, really an electric outboard? Let me tell you a couple reasons why an electric outboard can be superior for these small boats versus gas. Well, you got no maintenance, you've got no fuel, you've got literally zero that can go wrong. It charges and it's a lot cheaper than gas. This particular motor is actually the ePropulsion E-Lite. So it's a 1.5 horsepower equivalent, pushes this boat about 5 miles an hour, and I've got lots of content already on this motor, so I won't harp too much, but there's 2 versions. There's the 1.5 horsepower, which I have on my boat, great for smaller bodies of water, not as good for all-day fishing on big open bays, so I definitely need a 3 horsepower, but there is a 3 horsepower version and it's much larger. But let me tell you why this one's pretty cool. This one's cool because it actually has an integrated battery. As you can tell, I've got a bunch of junk right here. There's not another 24-volt electric battery right here. It's all integrated, and it has a quick release bracket. So you press one button, the motor comes out, and you can leave the bracket on the transom of the boat for ease of transport. But this entire motor only weighs 14 pounds versus my 26-pound trolling motor and my 22-pound trolling motor battery. So that's 2 pieces of equipment for 50 pounds. This is 1 piece of equipment that goes even faster for 14 pounds. Plus you can charge your phone and do all sorts of fun stuff. An electric outboard can definitely be a far superior option for a lot of tiny boat applications. Not all of them, but some of them. They're going to cost a little bit more up front, but in the long term, in terms of fuel and maintenance and parts, they're going to save you a ton of money. Plus you can charge this guy using your trolling motor battery, you can plug it into the wall, or you can attach it to a solar panel. So it's really, really popular in the sailing dinghy community and people who like to fish and boat on small lakes and big ponds. I just have it out here. I usually just leave my trolling motor on, but this definitely gets me to spot much quicker. So I will link this below, and I will also link the 3 horsepower equivalent, which I think would be definitely better for me, but it's also a lot more money. All right, finally, you probably know what I'm gonna say, but the #1 mod I think that everybody should get for their tiny boat. Doesn't matter if you have a bow mount trolling motor, which is actually just a clamp-on trolling motor, or you like to run your trolling motor on the stern, which I like to do all of the time. You need to get yourself an AutoBoat system. What if I told you that it's doing a little dance right now? What if I told you this is not some fancy bow mount trolling motor? Look, it's a transom clamp-on. This is actually a Minn Kota tiller handle trolling motor. Yeah, that's right, the one you get from Amazon or Walmart. It is a cheapo motor. What makes it special is the come on, are you gonna come on? I know spot lock's got to kick in now. It's getting a little far away from me. Come back, buddy, come on back here. But what makes it special is the AutoBoat. It's actually super easy to install. I've got a lot of content on my social media and this channel, but basically you unscrew the old head, snip the wires, use the quick connect, slip it onto this shaft, and voila, you have a smart motor with GPS, spot lock, north heading. You can pre-program routes in your phone, so it's auto driving. It is so cool. And yes, this actually does have stern mode. So if you still want spot lock, if you still want to remote control your boat and have the AutoBoat smart head, you can put it on the transom. In fact, I have a video where I tested that out. You can move it from up here to back there by going in the app and changing one setting, which is stern mode, or you can just flip your remote control upside down and it's basically the same thing. But it can be driven from the transom, which is super, super cool. So if you don't have any place to clamp on like I do on my Sun Dolphin American 12, well, just throw it in the back and you still get all of the benefits like spot lock. But it has so many awesome features, including of course being remote controlled. You can also use your phone as a remote control. It has north heading, which keeps you on a dead straight path while you're fishing. Obviously you have spot lock, which is what it's on right now. You have cruise control, and within the app you can actually pre-program routes. So you can basically make this a self-driving Tesla by opening the map, going to whatever spot you want, like we're here, and then I could point flags on the map and say, all right, this is the route I want it to take. And I can have it drive me 5 miles around this entire bayou if I wanted to without having to touch the remote, which is super, super cool. So this unit is an absolute game changer for us small boaters. I've quite literally dreamed of having spot lock on these tiny boats, and this AutoBoat smart head has made it happen. If you don't want to install it on a trolling motor, maybe you don't even have a trolling motor, like I already had this trolling motor, they actually make AutoBoat kits, like a full complete kit with their own trolling motor for just a little bit more money. So if you, come back, if you don't have a trolling motor and you have to go buy one and then buy the AutoBoat and then put them together, well, then don't do that. Actually save money and just get the one-piece pre-installed AutoBoat trolling motor system. Honestly, I wish I would have done that, but that didn't exist when I got mine. I had to install it on a trolling motor I already owned, which is awesome. It makes it cheaper if you already have a trolling motor, but if you don't, get the one piece. I wish I would have done that if I'd have waited like a little bit longer. Anyway, those are 5 mods I really think that would upgrade your boating this year for small boats, john boats, and plastic boats. I hope you guys have enjoyed. Everything will be linked in the description. And as always, folks, all the glory goes to our Father in heaven. Tight lines, and God bless. He's trying to take me out again.